You mentioned the county has really responded to this. What has been the response to mitigate the fire?
I mean, their response has basically been, we're already responding like it's an emergency. Nothing new would happen if we declared a state of emergency, and the state can just do it itself. That's usually what the responses are. And now a new one lately has been, well, if we declare a state of emergency, then it releases liability from the landfill operator, and they're the ones who caused this mess and they should pay to clean it up, which I completely agree with. They're not going to do that without a fight. The county, fortunately, finally sued them. And so they're in a lawsuit with them to help with funding for relocation and getting back the costs that have been incurred because of this emergency. But my frustration is that we can't just sit here and wait for a lawsuit and cross our fingers while people in our community are getting sick, getting cancer, going to the hospital because they can't breathe, and just act like, we'll just wait until we can get some kind of determination in court. It's our responsibility as the government, as leaders, especially in emergency situations like this, to respond and keep people safe first. And then we can recover those funds through the lawsuit as we're going through that. But to not take action when people are suffering like this and really be in danger, people's lives are going to be shortened because of this long-term exposure. And obviously cancer is going to kill some people and already has in this community. So this is something that we can't wait on.
Now, you mentioned that they were working on the fire, the 40-acre fire. What did that work look like, and who was working on it to mitigate it, right?
So there's a multi-agency team that came in of probably, 12 agencies at least, state agencies, Cal EPA, federal EPA, a number of state agencies, Department of Toxic Substance Control, Cal Recycle that oversees landfills, Air Resources Board, Water Board, and then the county agencies, Department of Public Health, and their agency that oversees landfills too. So there's been this multi-agency response, which is when they say they're responding like there's an emergency. That's part of it, right? They've been on the ground. They've been meeting with the landfill weekly. They've been checking on what's happening, talking about the next things that need to happen on a weekly basis. The landfill has spent millions of dollars responding to this already. They've drilled, over 200 wells to take the leachate out. Millions and millions and millions of gallons of leachate have been treated and then taken to, other water treatment plants to get, treated and disposed of. And they are taking out both the leachate, the toxic water, and then the gases. And they're trying to pipe those gases, contain them. They actually have a power plant on there that they can burn, the gases for energy as well. They have flares. They put in a huge 40-acre cover
To cover the smoke
cover it,
or,
and
or
it's
gases coming out.
welded and sealed, so it's supposed to capture the gas and then pipe it out. The problem is, while that it does seem like that has had some impact, it's grown from the 30 acres that were under that cover.
So it was 30 acres. It wasn't 40.
It was 30, yeah, and they did kind of a 40 acre to do a little extra space. It was around 30, but it's traveled now out from under the cover. Now it's 90
to
acres.
Other places.
Yeah, to the rest of
Is it in the same area?
It's in the same, they call them cells. And so it's in the same cell, but that cell is around 162 acres total, I think. And so it has the potential to, continue to grow and could even move into potentially neighboring cells, which would be an absolute nightmare. So this is very serious, and there's not a lot of options to be able to put it out. What they've been spending millions of dollars doing, all the wells, the cap, the treating the leachate and getting that out of there, it's tripled in size. It's not working. Despite the best intentions and investments and work and experts, is not working. And we don't have the time to wait another year or 3 years and see what might work next. And the worst thing is, when it was 30 acres, they were talking about it burning for a decade. And now that it's grown to 90 acres, they are talking about it burning for multiple decades. I mean, there's kids in these families who are going to be having their own children, and this fire is still going to be burning. It's hard to imagine.
Does it have a lot of fuel under the ground? How deep is it? How can it be burning for multiple?
Like 100 or so feet. It's a lot of trash. It's tons and tons and tons of trash. So yeah, it has a lot of trash to burn, and they can't excavate it.
So the fire is underground, 100 feet deep into the ground? Or?
Yeah, or I can't remember how deep it is, maybe 30, 40, 50 feet. I don't know that they know exactly, because once you get things close to it, they can burn. But I know, there's been talk about trying to put some kind of barrier in place to prevent it from expanding, to other cells. And the challenge is it's just so deep. They dig these huge canyons that you can drive down into. I mean, they're ginormous. And then they fill them up, with trash. For you, it'd take some years to fill them up with trash. And so they can't excavate, they can't open it up, because that will release so many toxins into the air. It would be incredibly dangerous for the community, the workers, everyone. So there's really not, I don't know, they're going back to the drawing board right now, I think, because of this new information about the tripling in size and burning for decades. And I'm hoping that they come back with some real solutions that are going to make a difference. But I haven't heard a lot. It's kind of a rare situation, and I haven't heard a lot of real silver bullet kind of solutions that are out there. And that's why you want to prevent it from even happening in the first place.
Pilar, you've been involved with this. So what's the best potential solution to this?
At this point, when you're talking about tripling in size and burning for decades, we have to get people out of there. You just have to cut your losses at this point and keep people safe and prioritize public health. And that's what I have been calling for. That's what the community has been calling for. Help people relocate, help with giving them relief in their mortgages. If there were a state of emergency, they could take their property taxes with them. If they have to end up buying another house that's more expensive, they could take their lower property taxes with them. There's all these protections that are automatic with a state of emergency, which is why we've all been calling for one. Tax relief, both property and income for any relief dollars that you get. But also we've seen, every emergency is different, right? The response to the fires in LA has been different than the response to even fires in other areas, right? There's a potential for federal support if we were to call for a state of emergency, but we have to get people out of there. We have to keep them safe.